place where the magic happens. Conversations flow and the laughter snapping. Here at Netter's Network, where the stories come alive. Every episode's a journey, every guest a drive. Netter's Network, tune in for the show, where the headlines meet the heart, and we all get to know. From the highs to the lows, we've got it all in tow. Netter's Network, where the world's on the go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netter's Network Thursday Things. Tonight I have a very special guest, and not only will we be promoting his channel, but we're going to be discussing things surrounding having to create a new channel.
Yeah.
But before we do that, and I'm going to rely on you to call things up because...
Oh, yeah. You want comments? I'll bring up comments.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't... Oh, there's comments. Okay. So... Hold on, I gotta mute my YouTube because my YouTube is still singing.
See, I told you. Didn't I say, Curtis? It happens to everybody.
So my first up was JPRPH1 with a wonderful $9.99 super chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you. And there's me saying hello.
Yep, exactly. You already said thank you, technically.
And then there's this Curtis Selby guy. It's like, I know him, but we got to keep
It's like he was eager for this stream or something.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this one's a lot more sensitive to scroll through than StreamYard, because this flies.
Yeah, it does.
I do not like that.
Well, you get used to it.
Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf, saying
welcome,
hello.
welcome.
Yeah, come on. Okay.
Oh.
Nothing to see here, citizen. Move along. Nothing to see here.
I feel like you need to, for your banner, you should have that Leslie Nielsen thing. Nothing to see here.
That's a great idea, actually. Deleted.
This is so tiny.
See, this is what I said. And yes, you did point out that you can hover over to see stuff better.
Yes, but I'm looking for a particular one that should be here, and for whatever reason I'm not seeing it, and it's bugging me.
Well, let me bring this up mostly just so I can read it. That's a new channel I didn't know you had. Nothing to see here, citizen. That's exactly why we're doing the stream tonight. For exactly that, to let you know about that.
You know what?
It's brand new.
Bring up things because it just keeps going.
She says, yeah, I figured if YouTube won't monetize me, I'll start over, like the poem says. Exactly right. If you can, watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. There you go. Exactly. I have to be at 1,000 subbers to get YouTube monetization. Yeah, you kind of do. But we'll talk about how to build that and how to do that.
Yeah.
What helps is a great support system, like one of our favorite Blue Wrenches here, Fluff Chick Productions, Connie Cleary. Hail to the chat. She comes in and says hi with both of her IDs. Super, super appreciate that. Big Al presents. Hello, my friends. Hope you have a great stream tonight. We are already having a great stream.
Yes,
it is wonderful.
Here. I have been looking forward to this all day. I've mentioned this before. It's like I can have a horrendous day at work, but then I look so forward to being here with all of you, and it makes all of that go away.
Yeah, absolutely true. You know what else helps on Friday nights? alcohol.
Yes.
When the booze goes in, the bad times go somewhere else. Salute, deleted scenes. Good to see you. Of course, he says, like, share, subscribe, and become a member. Yes, please do. Please do. We need you now more than ever. Aged Boomer, my co-pilot on Friday nights, the guy behind Geeky Geezers. So glad you are here. Accounting Sheep. Howdy, y'all, he says. Yes, welcome, my friend. Always good to see you. Let's see.
I'm trying to say hi, sweetie, in the chat as fast as I can get it in there.
I've been floating around the idea of another channel or a rebrand to Doc Spin, Dr. Spin, the Spin Doctor. I like the Spin Doctor. I really do. That's a good one. I think for sure I will have short centric channel to uh, as discussed by Retroblasting. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great way to just farm out your content in little clips, you know. But it does take time to do that. But anyway, I think we've gotten through saying hi to everybody who's here. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot into that, spinning off of that. Yeah, you guys will notice. Well, I've been pretty slow about it lately. I'm gonna kick up the volume uh, pretty soon. Taking the Geeky Geezers segments, live streams. That's what a little over 2 hour stream, and breaking it down into the individual constituent topics and putting them out as standalone videos. So I mean, I, I think I don't know this for sure, but I think you reach a greater audience that way. I think there's a lot of people that if they can't make it live, they sometimes don't want to come back and watch, the full 2 hour show. So I'll just put it out, in individual clips, and they can catch it as they see fit, And I have noticed that. I'm actually getting a lot of views on the what I consider to be reruns, the clips. So I think it's worth it. I think it's a good idea.
So are you releasing those as shorts or
No, because some of them are 15 minutes,
Oh.
sometimes 20 minutes. If sometimes I'll even like throw a couple of them together. So like, I don't want to give too much of a peek behind the curtain, give it all away. But like this week, we're going to have a number of topics specifically about Nintendo. I might just take all of those and put them together as one clip. But as far as shorts go, what I'm using shorts for is, if you stick around after the closing credits on this video tonight, on this stream, you'll see a couple clips. I'm making clips, shorts. I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong term. I made a couple of shorts to promote upcoming streams. So I've got a short for promoting what we're going to be talking about tomorrow on Last Call, and one for the Saturday movie on Netters Network. So,
and hello, Six.
welcome, Six. It's been such a long time. So glad you're here.
Did you say hi to Big Al?
I did say hi to Big Al.
Okay.
And so we are here to talk with old friend. I think that's appropriate to say, right?
Yes.
Friend, returning guest.
Yes.
Curtis Selby, who has been on a number of times, and we've talked about his channel.
And growth and was it shadow banning and all that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Which is why we have Curtis on tonight. Curtis was forced to create a brand new channel.
Let him tell a story.
What? I finished my sentence.
Sure. I mean, you just cut me off, but that's fine.
And of course, Curtis is going to be telling us all about his new channel and what led to it. Go, Curtis.
Well, I apologize. I've been on the phone. I don't mean to be rude, but I've got to let this guy go. Yes, Mr. Vance, I'm totally in support of what you're doing, but they just elected this new one, so don't break this one. Okay, bye. All right, sorry guys, I had to take care of that.
Boy, we're talking some serious talk there. My gosh, you got
Well,
business to attend to.
it's
You are important and in demand.
it's just difficult when you rule the world, But
I get it. I
I've
get
got
it.
a war to start, and I better not go into it. YouTube will probably ding us. He's threatening them.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of which, tell me about some of the we actually talked about it a little bit the last
Yes,
time we were
well, quite a
on,
bit. Yeah, quite a bit.
but what's the shorthand on it? Whatever came of you trying to monetize? You met all of the
Yes,
monetization requirements.
for the very basic
Mhm.
ground level thing. But they said I couldn't do it because I had harmful content, but they
Mhm.
don't list specifics. So I've just been kind of combing through, like if anything's got even a minor copyright thing, I've been editing that or
Right.
deleting it or putting it on Rumble. One example I'm going to give is my because I'm a cheesehead. My very first uh, advertisement, whatever the heck you call it, the spiffy thing at the top that tells people about your channel,
Uh
was me in a hat saying, "Watch my channel, or trolls will eat your face."
huh.
You think that that's mildly and also awkwardly funny,
Yeah.
but YouTube, I'm thinking maybe they honestly think I'm going to bring out a cave troll and have it attack people if they don't watch. I don't know. So I
I don't think they're
believe that.
concerned about a cave troll. They're probably more concerned about those ones that live under the bridge.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, we all the pay tolls should go to YouTube and a certain political party, not
Only
to
a third
yeah.
go to YouTube. The other 2/3 of this $5 super chat are going to Netter, who says
Whoop.
two big kisses to Netter, fist bump to Troy, and a big welcome and thanks for gracing us with your presence, Curtis Selby.
Oh, God bless you, Nate. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend.
He's one of my biggest supporters.
I think he's the, well, I don't
Actually,
know.
I think he is my biggest supporter. I
He's,
mean, I do have other supporters, but he's the top two.
No, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I don't know. Big Al's pretty big.
well, it's in the name, right?
It's in the name. Yeah, it's part of the
Yeah,
brand.
yeah. For
Sorry.
monitor, yeah, super chats. Yeah, Geek Flag with Nate is definitely the top donator,
Yeah,
and I appreciate that so very much.
But yeah. So last time we were on, we kind of talked about that, and because you weren't getting any straight answers, and you can't find anything out by looking at your studio now. In your on your videos, is there
Yes.
anything that says like uh, anything about monetary suitability, or
Well,
does that
I've I've
you
combed through all of those.
uh
I
huh.
I mean, I guess I still could have missed one or two, but I think I've gotten everything that's got any kind of copyright
No,
or
I'm not
any
asking about
messaging.
copyright. There
Right.
should be something, and it may not be there until you actually become monetized, but it should say the status of monetization ability of a particular video. Like this one is okay to monetize, or this one is unsuitable for monetization.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that on any of mine. Maybe because you got ad revenue and I don't.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was
Yeah,
looking
I
for.
don't see any of
Okay.
that on mine because I don't have the ad revenue yet because I need like
Okay.
700 more watch
Okay. So
hours.
then that wouldn't apply to you. That wouldn't help. Um, but
But in the
what?
top right corner, it should say something like what step you're on, like um, setting up AdSense, and then I forget what it says after that. Because like Wait, let me go to mine real quick, see what mine says currently.
While you're doing that, let
Yeah.
me thank Geek Flag for another $2 contribution. He says, I appreciate the nicest people on YouTube. Thank you so much. And I'm assuming that you also mean us as well.
Oh,
And Lester San Jose, the skeptic Tank, has renewed his membership.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so much,
you.
Lester San Jose. You are wonderful. You really are. Um,
Okay,
and
let's see.
bonjour. Uh,
Actually, I should be for because evening. Bonsoir.
bonsoir. Yeah. So yeah, there's really no way to know. And if you're going to continue doing this YouTube thing, you're going to go with a new channel. Now, we got to ask, do you
yes,
also have a Rumble channel?
I do. And that I'm doing a crappy job of following up with it, but part of my intent was to basically I'm going to try to make YouTube friendly videos on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and play by the rules, because whether I don't maybe it irritates me, but it is their platform, so it's somewhat fair ish.
Yeah.
Um, but and then do the stuff that the not suitable for
Not quite politically
YouTube.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
On
quite
Rumble.
ready for prime time. Right.
Yes. Okay, I got it. Will you forgive me if I segue for a
No,
minute
go
or two?
ahead.
No, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I've been thinking about this lately, and this has nothing to do with my channel or anything. It's just commentary here. So I was watching Saturday Night Live here the other day, something I hadn't done
Mm-hmm.
in quite a long time, and it was mildly funny here and there, but they were making fun of like the podcasts, like the Joe
Okay.
Rogans, and I don't know who they were making fun of really, but basically the new media that's taking over, right? And
Sure.
they were like showing how unprofessional and sexist they were, and then they were showing their clumsy way of advertising. Do Dr. So and so's warm plunges. They're just like the cold plunges, only you dive into warm water instead of cold water. And I was thinking, this is to me hypocritical, because 50 years ago you guys were the not quite ready for prime time
Exactly.
players,
Exactly right.
and
This is
now
why
you're going to make fun of them. Okay.
this is exactly why I always say, if you forget your history, you're destined to repeat it.
Uh-huh.
And they have forgotten their own history. I'll tell you
Mhm.
something else. I don't think this is quite the power move that they think it is, considering that as far as media goes, the alternative media, the so-called bloggers, are getting more views than the networks are. The networks
Yeah.
are struggling. Late night is dying, and I mean,
Except for Gutfield.
well, yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
it's they don't realize how irrelevant they are anymore because they are still in their own echo chamber, and that's their problem. I mean,
Well, I know 2 years ago, three, four, five, however many years ago, the my friends that I refer to as my liberal friends, and maybe I'm unfair to them, but they were trying so hard to get me to watch Colbert. And don't get me wrong, when he's funny, he's really funny.
but he
You
hasn't been
know,
that way in a long time.
well, I haven't watched him in 2 or 3 years, so I'm not sure what he's like now. But at the time, and I wasn't even pro Trump at the time,
Uh,
I believed all the stuff, and that was part of what my old channel was about. And I suspect that's a reason why it ended up, well, we don't want to monetize this guy,
right.
because, but I got so tired of just hearing Orange Man bad, Orange Man bad, Orange. after the 50th or 100th time, it's not funny anymore.
Well,
Um,
here's so you'd think there'd be two sides to this, right? You think people that like Trump are going to be annoyed and not want to
yes.
watch Colbert, and people that don't like Trump shouldn't enjoy listening to this either, because don't you kind of want to not think about this guy you don't like for a
Yeah. Well,
while, you know?
that's why you tuned into Johnny Carson, was to get away. I mean, yeah, he might have a political joke, but one, I defy anyone to tell me that they know how Johnny Carson voted, because I couldn't tell you. Looking at his stuff, he would make fun of both sides, but he would do it mostly with class and with at least a modicum of respect. You
You know,
know.
real quick, I want to say hi to Joe's Atmosphere. He also makes a great point here too. I'm just tired of the Trump cheerleaders, and you can insert anything there, any
Yeah, that's
person's
true.
cheerleaders. I mean, I don't mind sharing. I voted for Trump. I like
Yep.
Trump. I am definitely pleased with the things he's doing, but at the same time, I am not going to stand for him. STAN, not STAND. I'm not gonna
Right.
carry the water for him on every little thing on social media, because there's a lot of things that I think he's made mistakes on. Right now, I'm not real fired up about this Blondie chick that he put in charge of um, the DOJ. I mean, it's like,
Mm.
it's
Well, we're
we're
not.
100 days in, and you said you were going to release something, and you haven't released
Yeah.
it. And where is
Hmm.
it?
Where are
Um,
the arrests, for that
and
matter?
I'll go back even further. Amy Coney Barrett. The Federalist bootlicker. It's like,
Hmm.
that was a bad choice. If I'm going to say anything about Mr. Trump, it's that he I think he sometimes has clouded vision when it comes to a moderately pretty face. I'm not going to give too much credit to Amy Coney Barrett, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
But and yes, support the tired midnight blogger. Welcome. How do you pronounce it? Codish fact
I
search.
I think it's CODIS fact search.
Codish.
I'm pretty close to the guy, but I'm not 100% sure that I know how to pronounce it. But I think it's CODIS.
Yeah.
Please let me know, sir, if he's he's starting to build his channel, and I've been like terrible about supporting him. I've referenced back to the lame excuse of work, 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 work. But he's starting to build up too. So please, y'all check out the stuff he's doing and humiliate him by making his channel explode. Sorry.
There you go. There you go. But
Oh, he's
so
explaining
he
what it
says
means. Cognitive dissonance
cognitive
fact
dissonance
search.
fact search.
Got it. Got it.
Ah, so it would be Codis fact search. That's fair. I was going
Cognitive
to
fact.
say defining insanity. Usually, when people say that, they mean doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Um, I've always questioned that definition, because it really depends on what it is you're doing. I mean, if it's flipping a coin, you know, there's a 50-50 chance that it's going to do something else the next time you flip it. Just saying.
Unless you're
Uh-huh.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern,
Who are dead.
who are dead. Yeah,
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. That's
I
right.
love that. I love that.
I
Anyway.
just realized Troy has his channel up on our big screen,
Uh-huh.
so I can
Ooh.
actually get some comments that are up there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you were in the meeting today, so you may not have been able to take notice of this, but I had up an article, but it was too small on my screen to read, so I had to look up at the big screen. So I'm like,
Ah.
excuse my profile, everybody. I'm looking up at the big screen to read this.
Well, it's like when I'm around a meeting, my laptop is in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
but then my monitor is to the side. So usually when I'm on meetings, I'm like this. So you're seeing the side of my face.
Yeah, yeah. So I do want to point out that when we started the stream, your new channel, Nothing to See Here Citizen, was at 15 subscribers. You are now at 19 subscribers.
Yes.
And I was going to say, guys, the link is pinned to the top, but on mine, I screwed up and it's just the at Nothing to See Here Citizen. It's not actually a link, but the link is in the description below the video.
See, I can help you with that.
Please go there and make sure, because that's the whole point of tonight. Tonight, we want everybody who's here, subscribe
Pin
to.
it. I just dropped in your chat.
Subscribe to Midnight Bloggers' new channel, Nothing to See Here Citizen. Now, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I guess I should ask, where does the name Nothing to See Here Citizen come from?
So, and I acknowledge what you'd said on a previous chat. I'm not calling you out for it. I'm just letting you know that I have been thinking about it. That it seems
God,
like
the idea that people are thinking about things I say. The responsibility, I don't know if I can take it.
With great power comes great responsibility. Okay,
great power comes great ridiculously. That's what I get from it.
And the Counting Sheep says, I said before it was cool. Thank you very much, Accounting.
There you go.
But I know it's probably not the best marketing, and I've thought about that. And who knows, I may change it later, but it is still so very seminal and so very new. And I've frankly done almost nothing with it, partly because I'm a terrible procrastinator. But the other reason is because I thought I'd wait till the grand launch. Huzzah! Yay! It's a new channel. Yeah!
There you go.
I've obviously Nothing to See Here is my sarcastic take on the big tech companies. Basically, they censor us, they squash us, they try to squash our ideas. They're doing it less and less, but they still sometimes like to put the nasty little hate grams up.
Yep.
The vaccine is this and that and the other because we're too stupid,
right.
to know, to do our research. And
no, well, they don't want you to do the research, because if you do the research, you might realize that they're full of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on one second. I'm going to do something for dramatic purposes and probably going to mess it up. But hold music, please. Your call is very valuable to us. No, that's not it. There it is.
Yes. I every now and again I share out the link to that.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised Amazon still carries that book, but whatever.
Me too.
I think Amazon has turned a bit of a corner.
And I just realized that I need to make Nothing to See Here Citizen a blue wrench.
There you go. Yeah.
There it is.
If Curtis Selby is going to have a blue wrench, then this other guy needs it as well. I did want
Nothing to See Here Citizen is now a blue wrench.
I did want to point out that for those of you that follow me on X, Curtis's comment here, it really speaks to one of the comments I made on X today. He says, I need no other man, especially those in power, who are almost always worse than your local ped, rappy, murdering thief. I'm trying to be nice with words because YouTube loves these. Yeah, so here's my thing, right? I'm really getting sick and tired. This is a little bit of a minor, sort of light political rant, but I'm getting sick and tired of the people that say, we are not a democracy. We are a representative republic. Why do you think that's a good thing? Well, democracy is mob rule. Oh, really? Well, your representative republic is also mob rule. It's just elite mob rule. Because your reps don't represent you. They represent their capitalist cronies that pay them.
Exactly.
They are, and you watch when, your preferred party does exactly the opposite of what you want them to do. So how is this representative republic working out? So what was it that um, Winston Churchill said? Democracy is the worst kind of government besides all the others.
Yeah, exactly.
Another way to say it is that democracy is a terrible form of government, but it's the best of the worst. You know, I mean, if one way or another you're going to have mob rule, I would like
Yeah.
to be part of that mob. You know,
I'm still okay with the people that say those things, or that say we're a republic, not a democracy. But
yeah,
I want to say two things about that, if that's okay. One is, like, when Codice Fact Search says it, I can respect what he says because he's actually read the
yeah,
book.
right,
But if someone hasn't, and I don't mean this to sound snooty, because if you haven't read it, I'm not meaning to get on to you, but if you haven't read the Federalist Papers, or at
yep,
least some of the Anti-Federalist Papers, because I
yep.
still haven't finished them and I need to, but I feel like you don't really know what you're talking about when it comes to
Well,
that
I would
debate.
even I would even go farther than that. I would say if you don't know the difference between a federalist and an anti-federalist,
Yeah,
you
yeah, no,
probably
yeah,
really, aren't really keyed in. I see it even when someone is standing for Amy Coney Barrett. And you'll have people saying, well, she this, that, and the other, and she's appointed she's conservative, da, da, da. And then of course they get slammed down by the other side saying she's a shill and she's a this and she's a that. And then I saw one comment in there. I think it was the only middle of the road honest person who was just asking a question. He's like, who recommended her? I immediately responded, the Federalist Society. And a bunch of people came back. Damn. It's true. It is true. She's another one of those Federalist Society shills that when I call her a bootlicker, I mean it.
yeah,
She will throw out the Constitution every single time to bow to the authority, the state, the
yeah,
government, whatever. And
and
that is
exactly.
not conservative. It's certainly not a constitutional originalist. You know,
Exactly.
but I'm sorry, I've
No,
completely
no, that's all
gotten off
great
the
because,
I've
well,
gotten
I
off the
mean,
point on that. But
okay, so I'm going to segue into something. I'm going to use you have to learn to find the good in everything when you're king. But I've got several ideas for the new channel, and one of them that I keep throwing out to the community, and the community keeps going, "Yeah, we don't like that idea, Curtis." But I'm going to try to explain it better here and see if I get a warmer reception. So, and at first, I'm going to sound like I'm schizophrenic, which I'm not. But I have an idea for a show called Donkey Panda.
where is this going?
Okay, hold
I'm
on. So,
scared. I'm scared.
okay. So one of the people that I call my liberal friends, and he is
Uh-huh.
still a friend, although I think we probably are a little bit strained anymore, was saying basically that I had just become a panderer to the supporters of Trump, and that hurt. And I hope I responded appropriately, but who knows. But where I'm going with this is, combined with this was another instance where I let AI generate some shorts for me, and the AI took one of my shorts and said, "Oh crap, I'm still on, aren't I?"
Yes.
Okay, yeah, my computer's doing weird crap. Anyway, I made a short, and it entitled it, and I just threw it out because I was just in a hurry. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, unveiling the accomplishments of the Biden presidency, which actually had nothing to do. I don't know why the AI chose that, but it had nothing to do with anything in the short.
Uh-huh.
But that short is the most viewed thing on my old channel
Huh.
by
Interesting.
heads and shoulders. It's got, I mean, I'm not going to say because I know there's plenty of people have more views than that, but it's well over 8,000 views.
Nice.
Really nice, but it's also incredibly unrepresentative of what I do.
Right.
And I was thinking, why did the AI reward that and it squelches the other stuff? And so my friend Whiskey Flats, I don't know, you may not be familiar with him, but he was saying, well, what you need to do is basically do the reverse of what they say that you're doing, and have something called the donkey panderer, because the donkey's the Democrat,
Uh,
and have this facetious channel where you're either playfully criticizing Trump, or you're sarcastically pretending to support all the out, something like Awaken with JP, I think.
sure. I'm with
So,
you. I get that.
um,
And
but
see how far you can push it. When
yeah,
you say something super positive about something ridiculous that the Democrats have done, and people are coming in and saying, "Yes, I agree with you 100%." You
yes,
sit there and go, "Really? Really? Okay."
and
You
I
just
don't
don't get
know.
sarcasm, do you? Real quick, I want to say thank you so much to Ruby Hoove, who
Oh,
just
Ruby,
gifted a membership to me and my monkey strolling down
nice.
the avenue. And I also want to, of course, say hello to Sashi, who is all the way on the other side of the world.
And we want
He's
to
come a
thank
long way to be here today.
we want to thank Ruby Who for gifting a membership on Troy's channel.
I just said
Did you?
that. And I
Really?
sang to the new member, yes.
Wow.
And I do
I
want
literally just, in almost the same breath.
Okay, apparently I jumped forward in time and didn't hear you do that. I mean, I heard you singing.
Yes.
she's Doctor Who.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
my time travel is all
Be
that
present. Be present.
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
So I do want to go ahead.
Anyway, so what I was just to wrap up the republic versus democracy. The other thing that keep in mind, the two are not mutually exclusive. Yes,
Exactly.
this is a constitutional republic. That is true. However, how do we select our representatives? By democracy.
Mostly by
It's a
democracy.
democratic system, guys. Also, keep in mind that the writers of the Constitution, the ones who created this constitutional republic, called it a democracy. So take it up with them if you don't like it. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Well,
You can parse it however you want. You can decide, and I hate this. I'm getting really sick and tired of this. People deciding that things mean something and trying to argue with everyone else in the world what it means. You try to find two people to give you the same definition of what woke means.
oh yeah.
And you've got to stop it. You've got to stop trying to get people to accept your definition of a word. What you have to do is ask them, what do you mean when you say that term?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Once
good
I
point.
understand what you mean, then I can meet you where you're at and have a decent discussion. Until that time, we're going to be talking about two different things.
Exactly. And quite often, once you learn what their definition is, you find that you have less uh, division
Possibly.
than you thought you
Yeah,
did.
you might. You might. That's exactly it. I mean, and there are times where I'll find myself making exactly that point, and they're still trying to argue that I have to accept their meaning of the word. And I'm like, look, I'm done. You're not even talking about the same thing I am anymore. I am pointing out to you that you are using the word differently than the original poster did. And that's all I'm saying. And if you can't handle that, then we're certainly not going to agree on whatever it is you're debating about.
Right, right on, right on. I want to extend an apology to Sashi. He sent me a bunch of stuff, and I meant to do a post on them this week, and work just devastated me.
Well,
uh,
Sashi is concerned that he tanked your channel.
he
That's
did
what.
not. He
Yeah,
definitely
that's what
did
he's.
not.
And
Uh,
no, I don't think that was the case. It's just, well, honestly, if we're really truly honest, Curtis, we
it's
have no
me.
zero idea
Well, we
what it
really
is
don't.
because YouTube won't tell you.
But at the end of the day, it's my channel. It's my responsibility. So whatever it is something I shared, I put on, I allowed on. How So it's on me to try to fix it. I'm okay with taking responsibility for it. I just wish that they would say, well, if this video's got this video's got
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
this, I would fix it all. But
Yeah,
when it's so vague, like I say, I went down the list of everything with a copyright strike.
yeah. But it's very clear that things with a copyright strike are not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is they don't like your content and
Yeah.
they want to squash it.
Yes.
Um, by the way, I know you had told me in the backdrop that you weren't able to make it to Liquid Lunch today, but maybe go check that out because the primary topic that I was talking about today was specifically this case from April, the Department of Justice versus
Mm.
Google, which
Mm.
found that Google is absolutely a monopoly, and that they have used that monopoly in an illegal way, uh, in in uh, in direct opposition to antitrust laws. Now, what that means for them, we have yet to see. But I speculated that one of the possible outcomes is that their whole well, no, this is a certainty. Their whole ad revenue uh, scheme is going to have to change. They are going to lose a ton of money going forward. But also, it's very possible the Department of Justice will move to break up Google and they may lose control of YouTube. If that happens, logic dictates that the next thing that has to happen is if they want to continue to be profitable and not because they can't be propped up by Google any longer, they will have to start being a little bit more fair in the way they treat their content creators.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they don't, what's going to happen? People are going to start migrating. Now, people are already migrating. But I did talk about Rumble and I did talk about the shortcomings of Rumble. Um, the fact is, your Rumble channel right now, well, you may not have a lot of content over there, but it's already ad ready. You are already generating revenue over there. It's probably
Yeah.
not a lot, but you are monetized from day one on Rumble.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't have the kinds of problems that you do with copyrights over there. The copyright trolls are not in force over there.
It would be one thing if I just showed a movie or just had a song and no commentary or whatever. I could
Yeah.
see that. But when you're interjecting commentary or when you're like, I would love Enigma
Fair
Severus.
use? Just simple
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
use?
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
simple
get it.
fair use. And I also do want to comment. I don't want to ignore Cottis Fact Search. He's saying that he disagrees, although I think it may just be him misunderstanding what you're saying. But definitions are flexible, which I don't think is exactly what you meant. But in
No.
fact, the founding
I
fathers
am
were
not
very
I am
specific.
not saying that at all. I'm
Right.
just saying that if you grandstand on that point, you don't get anywhere. You
Yeah,
have to understand that even if you are right about the firm definition of something, if someone else is using it differently, then you are not talking about the same thing.
yeah,
That's all there is to it. That's how communication works, is understanding that someone may be misusing a term. And unfortunately, sometimes words can be used by the majority of people wrong. I'll give you an example. irony.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people use the term wrong.
All
I
too
mean,
often
there's
I
even a
do.
song, isn't it ironic? And she goes through a whole list of things that she thinks are ironic. And I'm like, not a single one of those is an example of irony. Those are bad choices. They are dumb luck, but it is not ironic.
Oh, but she's my favorite Canadian. Sorry.
I don't know about my favorite Canadian. There are a lot of Canadians I really
I'm
like.
totally teasing. Totally
And
teasing.
oh god, what's her name again? It's
Alanis Morissette, I think.
Alanis Morissette. She was a kid actor on some show. I think we had a musical theme to it or something that I watched as a kid. I think it was on Nickelodeon. Oh, someone from beyond the maple curtain probably knows what I'm talking about. Ironically, the fact that her song about irony didn't include irony is ironic in and of itself. Wow,
Right.
that is multiple levels of irony inception there. I'm telling you.
Wheels within wheels, right there. And
But I guess you were already way ahead of me. What I was going to suggest, or what I was planning to suggest to you before the stream started, was that if you are taking this opportunity to start a new YouTube channel, make sure that you're if you hadn't already, start a Rumble channel and keep that up to date and start using it. It is a pain in the ass. I'm going to
it
tell you
is.
that right now.
It is.
There are extra steps that you have to do for everything with Rumble. My biggest problem with Rumble that drives me up the damn wall is every time I set up a stream, every time I set up a live stream, every time I go to upload a video and I put in a thumbnail, it loses the thumbnail and releases the video without the thumbnail.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you look at it wrong or you sneeze or I don't know.
Okay, I'll try not to sneeze.
You don't wait long enough before you refresh the screen. I don't know what it is, but I have sometimes uploaded a video 3 times before it finally would take the thumbnail. And it's there. It shows the thumbnail. This is your thumbnail. Okay. Save. No thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I've had
drives
that
me
happen.
up the wall.
But at
and,
least they don't take down my thumbnails because they don't like somebody having a gun or something like that.
Oh, if you can get it to post in the first place, yeah, they don't give you any problems with it. No, you're absolutely right. That's true. Look, I don't know if this is good or bad. I've mentioned this on a couple previous streams, actually.
Oh, we got a secret coming. He's talking in his lower.
It's not really
voice.
a secret because I've said it a number of times before. I'm not sure this is a good thing, but you were talking about playing a movie over there.
Yeah.
I just did a watch party with Railway Nation.
Railway Nation. Yeah. Yeah.
We did the entire Tron Legacy.
Woo.
And it's not like when I do or when Netter does a rewatch where we're doing it off platform. He did it right there on Rumble. Well, so just like you are here, well, bigger, was the screen with the people on the side, and we're commenting, maybe not always commenting, and it's just playing there. And Rumble doesn't give you any guff about it. The whole movie, the music, everything. And there were large segments that we weren't talking over because we were watching. Now, you know how I am. When there's a movie going, I am commenting all the damn time.
Right.
Well, that's because otherwise you just have silence.
But I'm saying it wasn't silent because the movie was playing.
But
you know?
on YouTube,
yeah.
I mean, I've gone back to some of my old streams, and it's like,
is this playing? Oh,
yeah.
Like
exactly.
Yeah, you might have 20 minutes of silence because you're just watching a really great scene or something.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm talking about with, and there is a, I think it might constitute a short. I don't want to upload it to YouTube because it uses copywritten music, but I'm thinking I could probably put it up on Rumble.
So one of the things that happened, I made a video of Cassie, and because they're trying to compete with TikTok,
Uh huh.
you can you can put, I don't know why they do this. It is what it is. You can put some copyrighted music in your YouTube short,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're dumb enough, like I was, to go back over, because I think I did an anniversary show or something, and I
Sure.
just showed
Oh, I know what
that
you're gonna say.
short,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I got dinged for copyright there, but
The
not on the
stream
short.
got dinged, but the short didn't. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
which I'm
Well,
glad the short didn't, but still,
and it's not like I'm playing a whole song. It's just like, I don't know, 20 seconds of a song, but
yeah.
YouTube would still, so I am thinking about putting it up on Rumble and then just telling people, hey, I did this thing. Why don't you go check it out? See if you're interested in it. I don't want to talk about it because it's the kind of thing I want you to see without a spoiler.
Exactly. Well,
But
I know several people make great like tribute videos and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And I would love to. I'm terrible at it, but I would love to do that. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, you never get better if you don't do it. But I've given up because, at least on YouTube, it is a complete waste of time. And
So again, once you realize, what you can do on YouTube and what you can't, you put other stuff up on Rumble and you just tell your regular followers, hey, I got some videos up on Rumble. They're not here on YouTube. You can't see them here. You should probably go check it out,
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say hello to Matt Cheatwood. He says it's
Time
time to
to
MySpace.
MySpace YouTube. I love it. It took me a second because I had to think through, but because he was turning MySpace into a verb. But now I get what you're saying. Now I get what
And I
you're
want to
saying.
give an update. We are now at 22 subscribers. If
That's
there's
Woo!
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
in the chat who has not yet subscribed, please click on the link at the top of either Troy's or
Oh,
my streams and make sure that you subscribe to Nothing to See Here Citizen. I know
I
y'all
will have something
show
to see.
love.
yeah.
It may take me a couple of days, but I will have something to see, even if it's just videos of Cassie for a bit.
There you go, Curtis. I was going to suggest to you a couple things that you can do to at no
Yes.
cost to you to help promote your channel. First, make sure that you share out on your community tab on your original YouTube channel. Hey everybody, if you're following me here, make sure you follow my new channel. That's where I'm going to start doing, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Original.
Do that for sure, and then do that like on a weekly basis until everyone that's got their notifications on takes notice. um, and then also make sure that you have your YouTube and Rumble links in all of your social media
Yeah.
blurbs, because like for example, when I was trying to find your channel to put the link below, and I look up by Nothing to See Here Citizen, I was not finding it. YouTube is not good for things that aren't very very specific. I can't
Yeah.
find deleted scenes either. That's just
Yeah.
impossible. So make sure you put it in your Twitter bio, and make sure Rumble references YouTube, and YouTube
Yeah.
well, maybe be careful about YouTube Rumble.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
get one of those sites that you can go to where you have all your socials. So you got the one link, and everyone can
Yeah.
go there to find your X, Facebook, YouTube, OnlyFans, whatever.
right.
And
Well,
of course, you probably already know this from the Tired Midnight Blogger. Make sure you're always sharing out your streams on X.
Yeah.
And then sharing it in each of the groups
Yeah.
that are there
Mhm.
that you belong to. I do that with every stream, not just mine, but Troy's as well, so that the word gets out there. And occasionally we get people that come to our channels that I've never seen before. It's like, cool.
Yep.
Somebody shared it out.
Especially
or
because
reposted and-
you share it out, then people that follow you share it out. Also, for just not only every video you do, but every time you're a guest on someone's channel, share that out on your community tab. Hey, I am
Yeah.
guesting on Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips this Saturday. I'm not actually. Oh, wait a minute. Am I? I might, yes, I'm going to be on
You
Real Life
are.
Entertainment Clips on
Huzzah!
Saturday. So I'm glad I just reminded myself of that. I need to start because,
Well,
yeah, he's doing a rewatch of the original Star Wars. So I'm going to,
oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that going to be on Rumble?
Yeah, it's going to be on Rumble. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
You
Seth?
just took it down. You
No.
No.
guys see what happened? MXR Plays. Yes, that's a great example. They got kicked off of YouTube, so they went to Patreon. Then someone, uh, they were they were loading the Patreon stuff on YouTube, and yeah. So let me
Wow.
get through. Somebody who was paying for their Patreon was nixing their videos and then putting them up on a clone channel called MXR Plays something or other, uh, monetized it, and are making money off of MXR Plays videos that they're putting out on Patreon. And
That's
there's no way for them to take it down and claim it because
it's
YouTube
not
says,
copyright.
"Okay, we'd be happy to help you. What channel does your content belong to?" You don't have a chance to say Patreon or Rumble or whatever.
Yeah.
It's if it's not on YouTube, you don't exist and you don't matter.
Wow. So it's like Bizarro World. Everything's
Yeah,
upside
this
down.
is what's wonderful. Anyone can hit you for copyright, but you can't hit anyone else for copyright with YouTube. That's how it works.
How do we get to
That's
be on that side?
I I don't know. I don't even. I can't. I
Sorry, I didn't mean to poke a wound there or anything.
No, I mean it's true. It's there's an elite club and you are not a part of it. That's
Yep.
all there is to it. At
Yep.
least not on YouTube. If you're on Rumble, they pretty much treat everyone well. I don't want to say everyone. The big channels do get special privileges, but in a way you would expect them to. In the
Yeah.
way that you're like, well, when I get there, I would like to be treated that way.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's fair across the board based on what you're bringing to the table, and that I at least appreciate. Um, but I do think that Rumble and Locals, the two are kind of joined, are worth looking into, because there's the other thing too. Locals is to Rumble what Patreon is to all the other platforms.
Okay.
It is a smart connection, and the two in theory integrate well.
Got you.
There are problems there too. Just like I was saying, Rumble has a hard time communicating with StreamYard and EVMux and all the others. Well, you know, uh, Locals has its issues as well. Um, so, for example, on YouTube, if you are waiting for last call, right, and it's 15 minutes, you're like, well, I'll just put it up and it'll start when he goes live. Yeah, yeah, that'll work. Doesn't do that on Rumble. On
Yeah.
Rumble, you've got to hit play at 9 o'clock, and if I haven't started yet, you got to keep refreshing until I actually start. And sometimes, even after I've started, you still have to keep refreshing. It doesn't kick in right away. And unfortunately, Locals is the same way. It
Gotcha.
doesn't start automatically, and I hate that. And there is no option for it. So, at all of these platforms, they're newer. They have a lot of issues. They're working on them. They don't have the resources or the manpower that YouTube does. I do believe as time goes by, these things will improve and change.
I know this is completely pointless to point out, but I actually own a share or two of Rumble stock.
Oh, cool, cool.
Don't don't know
Don't take this as anything like investment advice.
exactly.
Just sharing what we've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should invest because I'll be blunt. I've made money in Rumble,
Mhm.
but I've not really made much on that stock. So we'll leave it at that.
I think that is Again, this is just speculation. Don't take this as investment advice, but I do believe that since that April decision by the courts and that case from the Department of Justice against Google, I do think that things are going to be changing with Rumble. Rumble's got a case against Google as well. It's related to that, and I think it's going to be affected by that. And yeah, I think there's going to be some things happening that's really going to help Rumble in the long run. We'll just have to wait and see. There's
Exactly.
nothing is guaranteed.
There's
But,
nothing to see here, citizen.
nothing to
Yes.
see.
And I am asking everyone in the chat, because I know you're going to show the love. He's at 22 subs right now. Can we make it 25? Are there 3 of you out there who haven't gone over to sub? Or do you have maybe a second channel you can sub with that you haven't used yet?
Exactly.
That would be amazing. And Osmo, because all of you are Osmo.
You really are. You guys really
And yes,
are.
I realize I keep looking over my laptop at Troy, but it's only because I tend to look at people when they're talking.
Exactly.
Haha. I just realized I hadn't subscribed to myself.
That's right. You have another channel. You can subscribe to yourself. That's
Huzzah.
true.
Um,
I'm seeing 24 right now.
woo! Woo!
Let's see.
25. There you go.
25.
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
is a lie.
That's a quarter of the way to 100, which would
No.
then be 10% of the way to
Monetization.
To the monetization. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a bad night's work.
I mean, we'll get
That's
you there
because
eventually.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
always saying we have an amazing community, and everyone that is in our community are Osmo.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
humbled and so gratified that I reached the milestone. I just wasn't, the gatekeepers. I'm not their kind of person. So,
Yeah.
and that's
So-
whatever. But
So let's make this happen. Be diligent about it. Make sure you're sharing your new channel out on X and your other socials on a regular basis. Because let's face it, things get lost in the sea, and you could share it 20 times and someone might not see it even once. So
yeah,
make sure you do that. And when you do, and I see it, I will make sure that I boost the signal and make good use of that community tab on both of your channels. Every time you do a video, make sure you're sharing it out all over the place. I think the most successful channels are the ones that say all the things. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
means so much to us. Blah 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 blah. I know there's a lot of channels that don't feel comfortable doing that. You gotta get comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this isn't like I was saying this earlier in the week. This isn't like the chat shows on TV, on network television, the news channels on network television, where the network puts up regular commercials supporting your show. Only you can do that. No one else is going to do that for you. So you have to promote yourself in every way you can.
That's why I said I will go on X and promote every single one of our streams.
Yep.
Troy stream, my stream.
Deleted.
And-
Yeah.
And Boomer, and I put them all out there because somebody may see it, repost it, and this happens a lot. A lot of my things will get reposted, and then somebody that belongs to that person's friend group might see it and go, "Oh, that looks really interesting. Let me go check it out." That's how we got so many people coming over to Spark 121. They're like, "You guys are talking about Twin Peaks? I got to check that out."
Yeah.
And then they started showing up, and then telling their friends who started showing up, and we got
And
a
they
bunch
tell
of new
two
people.
friends, and they tell two friends,
Yes,
and so on.
and so on.
And so on. And so on.
There you go.
I'm just glad I hadn't watched Eraserhead before I had the idea of starting this channel, because I'm almost certain I would have used him in the Avatar or something. And
I made Troy promise to never make me watch that again.
It is
This
disturbing. It really
this
is.
It's
this
beyond disturbing.
this may say something about me. I liked it.
There's nothing wrong with liking it as long as, I
I'm
mean,
not saying I'm going to do any of that stuff. I'm not saying that I want any of that stuff to happen to me or anyone else.
it's
I'm
trippy, and
just saying I
sometimes
liked it.
trippy is fun, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
This
You got to
was
be in the right mood.
freaky
Yeah.
and disturbing, and it was like giving me nightmares.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
It well, and let's face it. I mean, it is disturbing. I think a lot of video stores classified it in the horror section. A
Yeah. I
number
can
of
see
people have
that.
referred to it as a nightmare, and
Yeah.
at
I
the
think
very
so.
bare minimum, it follows dream logic. So I don't think it's a stretch to call it a nightmare. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, Oh, and Robert's Infinite Realms, welcome. Good to see you. We are kind of just wrapping up, but you can always watch the rewatch. There's
And
no
of course,
reason
for
you
anyone
couldn't.
who is here, if you stay put right here, don't move, you'll be automatically redirected to deleted scenes,
Woo!
coming
Yes,
attractions.
yes, please do. And he'll tell you everything he's got going on throughout the weekend and into next week.
Because the man never sleeps.
So, speaking of
He
what's coming
doesn't.
up, yeah, right? Speaking of what's coming up, Tired Midnight Blogger, what have you got coming up? Anything on your old channel, and most specifically, what have you got? What have we got to look forward to on your new
Okay.
channel in the near future?
Well, I'm going to start doing the voice of Northern Oklahoma over on the new channel because I
Okay.
want the new channel to be. If you don't like I want it to be playing by the YouTube rules, but I also want like I feel kind of not great that some of our liberal friends don't feel comfortable. They don't say it, but I can tell that they don't because they
Mm-hmm.
don't come watch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And while I might have liked Eraserhead, I can't go to my friends and say, "Why don't you like Eraserhead? I know that thing looked like a weird, deadly lamprey eel worm thing, but you can't make people like something, and they think the way they do, and they have that right, and they should have that right."
Yeah.
So I want to make it with the possible. I'm trying to make up my mind about the donkey panda thing, but everything else I want to make nice and neutral. I might talk about Oklahoma politics, but I'm going to try very hard to actually be Switzerland, and not
Mhm.
tell you, vote for this person, vote for that person. It'll just be this person did that, this person voted that way, this event's going on. And I'll try to make it entertaining, but I also want to make it because I want to get advertising. I want to start actually making some money on this. I'm not meaning to complain. I love doing it.
Mhm.
But the other thing, I'm thinking about backing off to one stream a week on the old channel because I
Mhm.
know people still want, I still have people who want that once or twice a week thing where I rant about silly things and all that.
Sure.
And it's true, deleted. You can't please everybody. Um,
Right?
and I haven't made up my mind about the donkey panda. I really would like some feedback if anyone thinks that that's a good idea or a stupid idea. And Troy, I sent you a AI generated image for a possible something, like a thumbnail or what have you. Let me know. Do you like
Donkey
that?
jockey.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I want to put that on the new channel and then risk, you know, but I kind of like the idea of being ironic and just
Uh-huh.
seeing where it goes. Matt Cheatwood is saying something. Don't strive for neutrality. Stand your ground. YouTube has plenty of far left and far right people. That's true, which is another thing that exasperates me. I see some
Yeah.
real hardcore far right wingers, and they're monetized, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So
Because there's absolutely zero fairness. They
yeah,
pick and choose.
yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
And I will still keep trying on the old channel, but mostly my work on the old channel is going to be okay. I threatened to squeeze the cheeks of this local politician. They took that as a threat. Fine. I'll take that down or put it on Rumble and take it down here, whatever.
If you want to be Swiss, hate on Swiss rolls. I have a Swiss uncle, and he keeps saying he doesn't understand why they're called Swiss rolls. They don't make them. Well, it's like what French fries, and
I like it.
You know,
Matt could name me.
Not make French fries.
Matt could name 10 channels far more right than I am that I could dream of being.
Yeah. And what's funny is, there are 2A channels that are monetized, I mean,
and I'm glad they are, but
they have a very hard time and videos get taken down all the time, but nonetheless, by and large, Brandon Herrera and a whole bunch of other channels, don't have any problems, but I don't know, my friend. It's BS. We just got to pick ourselves back up. They're never going to keep you down,
Nope.
That's all there is to it.
Nope.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go into it. I'm all for the donkey show. I mean, the donkey panda.
I would not have believed Agent Boomer would make that joke. And I've been thinking about it the whole time. And it took Boomer to actually say it.
I'm not going to say it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Anyway, that's all I got for you, my friend. I'm gonna shut up now.
Shutting up, sir.
And, yes. And as I mentioned before, if you stay right here, you will be redirected to Deleted Scenes channel for coming attractions. Troy, final words?
No final words. I'm not even gonna go through what we got going on. I'm gonna, just watch the promos before you go over to Deleted Scenes, and you'll know what's going on.
Curtis, any final words?
Kapla, Mark Melnikoff. Glory to you and your house.
The late Mark Melnikoff.
Yes.
Oh, and speaking, we talked about you enough times throughout the stream. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips has rated the stream. Thank you so much, my friend. Like I said, this Saturday I will be hanging out with him over on his Rumble channel as we watch the original Star Wars. That should be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yep.
And of course, y'all know what I always say.
I do.
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in a family room. We're enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You're our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. And you could be anywhere right now, and you're here. And that's so encouraging. Thank you for the many ways that you encourage us and encourage each other, and for the many ways that you support us in our channels. We don't do this for us. We do this for you. So I'm really happy that what we're doing is entertaining enough to you that you keep coming back. And if you ever have suggestions for something you'd like to see on any of our channels, just let us know. I know that I'm really open to it. And of course, if you ever want to be a guest on Thursday Things, just drop me a DM over on Twitter, and I'm happy to get you on. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Night.
all for.